Hello, my little sheep. Welcome to the channel, The Adventures of Little Shepherd Bento. Today we have a very special story, full of animals, rain, and fun moments. Are you ready to live this adventure with me? So open your eyes wide, get your little hands ready to clap, and come with me, because every second will be magical. Before we begin, I want you to tell me in your head, what animal do you like the most? It could be a strong lion, a tall giraffe, a cute dog, or even a colorful bird. Keep that answer in mind, because will your pet appear in our adventure today? Today, we're going to meet a very special man named Noah. He lived in a time when people no longer cared so much about what was right. But Noah was different. He always helped others, cared for his family, and treated animals with kindness and respect. One day, God spoke to Noah and asked him to do something very, very important: to build a huge ark, like a giant boat, that could protect his family and all the animals on earth from a great storm that was about to arrive. Wow! Have you ever thought how incredible it would be to see a giant ship being built, piece by piece? And the coolest thing, this ship wouldn't just carry people, but all kinds of animals, big, small, with feathers, with fur, with scales, every shape you can imagine. Will your favorite animal make it onto this ark too? I think so.
Come with me to imagine, with Bento and Noah we will dream. Happy animals will board, let's enter the magic ark together. Come with me to imagine, with Bento and Noah we will dream. Happy animals will board, let's enter the magic ark together.
So, hold on tight to your imagination, because this adventure is just beginning. And look, the ending is going to be incredible. Let's go. Noah looked at the vast empty load and imagined the ark taking shape. He knew it wouldn't be easy. He needed strong wood, sharp tools, and, above all, a lot of patience. It was like building a house, only gigantic, capable of floating and withstanding a great storm. Noah and his family began immediately. First, they prepared the ground to receive the base of the ark. Each plank was laid carefully, each nail driven firmly. The sound of the hammer echoed like a compass, marking the rhythm of the work. Tock, tock, tock. Every now and then, curious animals would come over to watch. A little bluebird would land on a piece of wood and seem to ask, "What's going on here?" Noah would smile and continue his work, knowing that soon this little visitor would have a safe place into this ark. Time passed, and the ark grew. First, the high, sturdy walls, then the firm roof to protect from the rain. With each passing day, the building looked more like a huge floating castle, made not of stone, but of sturdy, carefully crafted wood. Have you ever built something that made you proud? Maybe a tower of blocks, a little hut made of sheets, or even a beautiful drawing. Building is special because we start with almost nothing, and suddenly, something incredible is right in front of us. Imagine seeing a huge boat being born right before your eyes.
With each hammer blow, Noah thought of all of the animals that would come. Lions, elephants, rabbits, giraffe, each one would need a cozy spot. It was like preparing a giant hug for them all. And step by step, the promise of a safe place became reality. With each hammer blow, Noah thought of all of the animals that would come. Lions, elephants, rabbits, giraffe, each one would need a cozy spot. It was like preparing a giant hug for them all. And step by step, the promise of a safe place became reality. Oh, with each hammer blow, Noah thought thought of the animals that would come. Lions, elephants, rabbits, giraffe. Each one would need a cozy spot. It was like preparing a giant hug for them all. And step by step, the promise of a safe place became reality. And step by step, the promise of a safe place became reality.
As the ark began to be completed, everyone who passed by was impressed by its size and beauty. And even though some didn't understand the reason for all the work, Noah knew he was following a very important plan. A plan to protect life. The ark was almost complete. The sturdy walls gleamed in the sun, and the scent of new wood filled the air. Then something magical began to happen. The animals began arriving. In pairs, 12 elephants walked side by side, swinging their trunks. 2 lions came with strong strides and bright eyes, but with a calm look, as if they knew they were going to safety. There was no rushing or confusion. Every animal seemed to know exactly where to go. 2 little white rabbits hopped happily. 2 giraffes peered curiously up at the ark's high roof, and even small insects flew toward the entrance. It was as if an invisible invitation had been sent to every corner of the earth. In the sky, flocks of colorful birds formed patterns, flying together, each group finding its own space. On the ground, the sound of paws, hooves, and claws mingled with the soft sound of the waters beginning to churn in the distance. Have you ever thought about what your place on the ark would be if you were there? Would you be near the big animals or the little ones? Imagine hearing the lion roar on one side and Thekit chirp on the other. The animals entered in perfect order. Noah and his family guided each one to the right place. There was a space for the forest animals, another for the field animals, and even a cozy place for birds to sleep. Everything was organized so that everyone would be safe and comfortable.
Meanwhile, on the horizon, dark clouds began to gather. The wind picked up a bit and a light drizzle began to fall. It was as if nature was warning the big moment was near. But inside the ark, everything was getting ready for the day to come. Horizon, dark clouds began to gather. The wind picked up a bit and a light drizzle began to fall. It was as if nature was warning the big moment was near. But inside the ark, everything was getting ready for the day to come.
Clouds now covered the entire sky. Once blue and clear, it was now gray and heavy. A cold wind began to blow, and the raindrops grew louder, hitting the ark like small drum beats. Noah looked up at the sky and knew it was time for everyone to be safely inside the ark. One by one, the last animals entered. 2 penguins slid across the wet ground. 2 turtles walked slowly inside, as if they had all the time in the world. The ark door, huge and heavy, was carefully closed. Inside, a smell of hay, wood, and life mingled. There were sounds everywhere. Roars, chirps, neighs, and even a lazy snore from some animal that had already fallen asleep. If you were on the ark, what sound would you rather hear as you fell asleep? A soft bird chirping or the sound of rain falling on the roof? Outside, the rain intensified. Thick drops fell relentlessly, forming small rivers that ran down the earth. Soon, puddles became lakes, and lakes began to merge. The water rose rapidly, but the ark remained steady, floating gently. Noah and his family watched through the small window as the world outside disappeared beneath the waters.
The sound of rain was constant, but inside the ark there was peace. The animals were safe and everyone knew they were cared for. Noah remembered the words he had received and felt in his heart that even with all the storm, a new beginning was coming. But inside the ark there was peace. The animals were safe and everyone knew they were cared for. Noah remembered the words he had received and felt in his heart that even with all the storm, a new beginning was coming. A new beginning was coming. A new beginning was coming. A new beginning was coming.
And so the ark continued on its way, rocking on the waves like a great boat laden with life, courage, and hope. Outside, the dark sky and waters covered everything, but inside, there was light, warmth, and a sense that something very special was about to happen. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Inside the ark, everyone learned to live together. There were routines in the morning, feeding the animals. In the afternoon, cleaning and caring for the spaces. At night, resting while the sound of the water lulled everyone to sleep. The rain, which had previously fallen heavily, now fell only occasionally, as if tired of falling so much. The children in Noah's family helped carry hay for the horses, fruit for the monkeys, and even small leaves for the rabbits. The animals, who were initially agitated, now seemed accustomed to the long journey. Some played, others remained quiet, simply watching through the small gap in the windows. If you were there, which animal would you want to feed every day? Imagine what you would give it to eat. One day, the sound of the rain finally stopped. Outside, only the gentle swaying of the waters could be heard. Noah climbed to the top of the ark and opened a small window. All he could see was water, a vast, endless ocean. Then he had an idea. He released a raven to see if it could find a place to perch. But the raven flew and returned with no news. A few days later, Noah tried again, but this time with a dove. Everyone waited anxiously. The dove flew away, and at the end of the day, returned, carrying a small green twig in its beak. It was like a gift, a sign that the earth was near. Everyone's eyes lit up with joy. Life was returning.
That little twig meant so much more than it seemed. It was the promise that soon they could leave, that the ark would no longer be their only place to live. Noah treasured the twig and gave thanks for the sign. Now everyone knew the end of the journey was near, and a new beginning was upon them. And a new beginning was upon them. That little twig meant so much more than it seemed. It was the promise that soon they could leave, that the ark would no longer be their only place to live. Noah treasured the twig and gave thanks for the sign. Now everyone knew the end of the journey was near, and a new beginning was upon them. 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 Noah treasured the twig and gave thanks for the sign. Now everyone knew the end of the journey was near, and a new beginning was upon them. No new, and a new beginning was upon them. New beginning was upon them, and a new beginning was upon them. And Noah treasured the twig, and a new beginning was upon them. Thanks for the sign. That little twig meant so much more than it seemed. It was the promise that soon they could leave,
After a few more days, Noah opened the window again and released the dove. This time, it didn't return. This could only mean one thing: it had found a place to stay. And then, the great day arrived. The waters receded enough for the ark to rest against the top of a mountain. Outside, the air was fresh, the sun was shining, and the smell of wet earth filled hearts with hope. Carefully, Noah opened the ark's door. Light streamed in, illuminating every nook and cranny. One by one, the animals began to emerge. Lions strode majestically. Giraffes gazed around with their long necks. Rabbits scampered excitedly through the new grass, and birds flew happily through the open sky. Everyone was free again. If you were there, what would be the first thing you would do when you stepped onto the ground? Would you run, jump, or just stare at the sky? Noah and his family also stepped outside, taking a deep breath of the fresh air. They knew they were beginning a new chapter in their lives. And there, before everyone's eyes, something incredible happened. The sky filled with color. A huge arc appeared from one side to the other, glowing with hues of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. It was the rainbow, and it wasn't there by chance. It was a sign that this moment would be remembered forever. It was a promise that there would never be a flood like that again.
Children pointed to the rainbow with smiles on their faces. It was like a special gift, letting everyone know that a new beginning was dawning. Noah moved, thanked them, and promised to lovingly care for the new world that lay before them. The children pointed to the rainbow with smiles on their faces. It was like a special gift, letting everyone know that a new beginning was dawning. Noah moved, thanked them, and promised to lovingly care for the new world that lay before them.
And so ends this great adventure. Noah's Ark wasn't just a boat, it was a place of care, patience, and hope. And now I want to know, did you like this story? So, to not miss the next adventures of Little Shepherd Bento, ask an adult to subscribe to our channel, because there are many more incredible stories to come. Let's experience many adventures full of joy and learning together.